But Raymond Ford, he kind of reminded me of how Sugar Shane Mosley and Floyd Mayweather were. Remember when Sugar Shane Mosley, going into the fight, people thought that Sugar Shane was going to control the ring and walk Floyd down, but it actually was the opposite. With Floyd being the slicker fighter and the counter puncher and the more elusive fighter, he was the one actually walking Sugar Shane down for the majority of the fight. That's how Raymond Ford was to be last night.
Oh, you mad because I'm styling on you?
Like 20 seconds left in the 12th round. A lot of people are like, man, Kholmatov, if he didn't turn his back, which I agree, if he didn't turn his back, it would have went to the judges. But he turned his back to Ray Ford, trying to run up out the ring almost. He almost fell out the ring.
Agents, just reading the body. He know he had this man on the run. Looked like he was trying to exit the ring right there.
From the hood to college, both worlds they had to meet. 6 degrees between us, so cold, we're about to freeze. But with Florida boys, hot takes, we bring the heat. We're moving the culture, the engineers to the streets.
Yo, what's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Dr. PG, NG Praise God to get money back for another YouTube video. Banger, man. Y'all know what it is, man. Engineers to the streets and doctors in the house. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. So we are here to talk about boxing, of course. You know I'm outside with it as always, man. You got to start off the beautiful week with a beautiful Sunday. You know, God-given day. I want to enjoy it. You know, I'm talking about here with my dogs again. But we have some boxing to talk about. And of course, man and woman, those of you that didn't hear about it, you know, yesterday, actually, we had Raymond Ford, the new champion, against Otabek Kholmatov. You know what? I'm indecisive right now.
What the hell does that even mean?
What you getting at with the book script? Spit that shit out, man. All right.
You know, we're going to start off with the ladies. Ladies first, right? That's how it goes, man. So, you know, we had a big fight with Amanda Serrano versus Nina Meinke. And, you know, that fight was unfortunately canceled, you know, to much of our dismay and, you know, and our surprise, you know. And but I know a lot of people were mad. Of course, you know, you want to see a fight. That's what you pay for. It was the main event. But at the same time, we have to come to an understanding, too, that these are people. And sometimes freak accidents happen, which is what transpired with Amanda Serrano. You know, she's a great fighter. She's amongst one of the top female, not just boxers, but athletes, you know, but amongst boxers and combat sports women. She's definitely amongst the top. I have Clarissa Shields as #1, but I definitely have Amanda Serrano up there as one of the top, you know, definitely top 5, top 3, something like that. I have to think about it. But yeah, she's had a fight that was supposed to go down in her her homeland of Puerto Rico, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, her being a Puerto Rican fighter, this was great for her, you know, as a homecoming. And, you know, those who have been keeping up with the storyline, she has vocalized that she wanted to potentially make this her retirement, you know, fight. And, you know, it's her retirement send-off, man, which she deserves, you know, a great warrior like that. But unfortunately, you know, things happen, and, you know, a lot of people are like, oh, why did it get canceled last minute, though? Why did they cancel it before? Well, because, you know, apparently, according to reports that I've read, she suffered an injury to her eye. Yes, and eye injuries are very serious.
But I cannot see. I'm legally blind. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. I'm innocent.
That's why I say we got to respect Errol Spence. People like to talk trash and make fun of these warriors, but, you know, they put their life on the line a lot of times, and, you know, and they want to be able to retire with all their faculties and their health intact, you know. So shout out to Errol Spence for still fighting with his eye injury, and even after his car accident and stuff like that. And then shout out to Amanda Serrano. She's cut from the same cloth, right? She's the same warrior. She tried to do the same thing, but apparently some strong chemical from hair dye got into her eye. You know, she also suffered burns on her hand from the same chemical. So it was a serious incident. And, you know, the reason why it was canceled last minute and in the ring is because they tried to do whatever they could to be able to get cleared by the doctors. You know, the incident, I believe that they said it happened 36 hours prior to the fight, so about a day and a half before the fight happened, or the fight was supposed to take place. So they kept everything going, you know, intact with the intent to fight, you know, being hopeful that the eye injury would clear up. But unfortunately, it didn't, and the doctors didn't. The doctors of the Puerto Rico Commission, they wouldn't. The doctors and the Puerto Rican Commission wouldn't clear for the fight.
Bunch of bitch-ass culeros. Okay.
Rightfully so, man. You know. In the moment, this is the most important thing. You know, whatever you're going through, whether it's a test, whether it's a job, or a relationship, or a fight, or like a boxing match or a game, that seems like the most important thing at that moment. But for the full scope of things, you know, in life, you want to make sure that you're okay. And I think they made the best decision for her. You know, it might not feel like it right now, especially for the fans, but, you know, shout out to them. And also, there was good news because you could talk all the trash about Jake Paul. You know, I'm not really a fan of Jake Paul per se, but you know, they did the right thing. They offered Nina Meinke, who was Amanda Serrano's opposition, her full purse, which was very dope gesture, and they offered everybody in attendance a full refund. You know, just because the main event was canceled abruptly. So shout out to them. You know, they didn't have to have any type of litigation or any type of petition or any type of complaints as far as people wanting their money back. You know, they just went up and got ahead of it and offered the refund back. So shout out to Jake Paul and his promotional company MVP. You know what I'm saying? They did the right thing by the people. And he won his fight, by the way. I did see somebody on Twitter, I got to respond to this too. They said, you know, people tweet the darnest things like children. They said that Jake Paul gets a lot of backlash, but a lot of our favorite fighters also had their career started off slowly and fighting people that were at the bottom of the trash heap. Is what they used, the term they used. I don't know what favorite fighter he's talking about, but all the boxers that I like, favorite or not, yeah, they didn't fight the highest level of competition starting off, but they fought real boxers.
Know your fucking place, trash.
You know what I'm saying? Jake Paul's opposition would be consists of inactive boxers or people who never boxed before or both. You know what I'm saying? So like that's the difference, you know. And I'm not knocking Jake Paul. He's coming along as he should, and he won his last fight last night, so that was dope. But let's just get that very clear. The biggest knock on him is that he's a boxer that doesn't box boxers. So it's not that he's beating his competition. It's the fact that his competition aren't even competition.
Know your fucking place, trash.
Per se. But yeah, so shout out to Amanda Serrano. Our hearts go out to her. We know that she won the fight. If she could have, she did everything in her power to ensure that she fights. But hey, man, it just wasn't God's will, and that's what happens, man. Life goes on. She said that she'll be back, and I'm sure it'll be bigger and better, you know. Now let's get to the meat and potatoes, which is the most exciting fight. Last night was between Raymond Ford, and Otabek Kholmatov. Hopefully I pronounced his right name, Butcher. I love to get everybody's names right because I respect these warriors. But man, was that a photo finish. It went down to the wire, baby. Now, Raymond Ford, it was a back and forth fight. You know, I think Kholmatov was, he did pretty well early. I thought Raymond Ford was boxing elusively. Just to give you all a brief background of Kholmatov, he was considered a power puncher, a monster. You know, he had, 12 fights and 11 by knockout. So he had like a over 90 plus percentage of knockout rate. And I think Raymond Ford had a 50% knockout rate, if I'm not mistaken, going into this fight. And he was 14-0. So now they fight. So, you know, Raymond Ford, he's coming in as a boxer, the more slick fighter, the more elusive fighter, better combinations. Kholmatov's coming in as a power puncher. He's going to walk you down, pressure you. And his boxing skills is underrated too. He has very good boxing skills as well. But Raymond Ford, he kind of reminded me of how Sugar Shane Mosley and Floyd Mayweather were. Remember when Sugar Shane Mosley, going into the fight, people thought that Sugar Shane was going to control the ring and walk Floyd down, but it actually was the opposite. With Floyd being the slicker fighter and the counter puncher and the more elusive fighter, he was the one actually walking Sugar Shane down for the majority of the fight. That's how Raymond Ford was to be last night.
Kholmatov tripped over his feet right there. Ford just following up with combinations, just reading the body. He knew he had this man on the run.
At a different level, of course, but you know, nonetheless, man, he did his thing. I thought it was a great fight. A lot of people had him losing going into the 12th round. I actually had him up by 1 round. I thought it was a close fight, back and forth, like I said. But Raymond Ford, in my opinion, controlling the mid rounds, but sometimes he would let Kholmatov get off at the end of the round, so it could have swayed the judges. And you know, when it goes to the judges, there ain't no telling what's gonna happen in boxing. But yeah, I had Ray Ford winning going into the final round. But he did say in, like, I think it was the 6th round in his corner, he said, "Hey, I'm gonna stop him." And that's, hey, shout out to his corner, man. His corner was great too, man. They gave the best honest opinion and motivation that they could. I thought it was awesome. And yeah, they did their thing, man. And sure enough, Ray Ford got the knockout in like 20 seconds left in the 12th round. A lot of people were like, man, Kholmatov, if he didn't turn his back, which I agree, if he didn't turn his back, it would have went to the judges. But he turned his back to Ray Ford, trying to run up out the ring almost. He almost fell out the ring.
You see Kholmatov kind of turn his body. Looked like he was trying to exit the ring right there.
Trying to get away from Ray Ford's pressure, but I think that was just indicative of how the fight was going, man. Ray Ford was on his pressure tings, and Kholmatov didn't really know how to fight off of his back foot, and you could tell he wasn't accustomed to being pressure like that. He's used to being the aggressor, and he wasn't. So Ray flipped the script on him, master shot to Ray Ford. We had a new champion at the featherweight division. Now this is the thing too. Oshaki Foster, who we saw beat Abram Nova, I want to say like 2 or 3 weeks ago. He's at super featherweight, and they had a back and forth on Twitter because Ray Ford after the fight expressed that he can't make featherweight anymore, so he wants to move up. I think that'd be a good fight because yeah, they both have styles that while they're both slick, they both like to fight. You know what I'm saying? And I honestly, if Ray Ford could keep his he doesn't have the most power, but he definitely has power. You know what I'm saying? Kholmatov obviously was feeling those punches, and if he could keep that when he moves up, I really favor Ray Ford over Oshaki Foster. But Oshaki Foster is a very good fighter as well, man. So yeah, y'all let me know what y'all think about Oshaki Foster versus Ray Ford in the future. Who you think will win in that? I got Ray Ford just coming off the cuff for a prediction. And yeah, man, that's it for today, man. I appreciate y'all, man. Enjoy your week, man. Thank God. God is good all the time. With God, I can do anything. Without God, I'm nothing. Y'all be easy. Peace. Let me know in the comments who you have, Ray Ford or Oshaki Foster. Shout out to Amanda Serrano as well.
From the hood to college, both worlds they had to meet. 6 degrees between us, so cold we're about to freeze. But we're Florida boys, hot takes, we bring the heat. We're moving the culture, the engineers to the streets.